The ship shook under another hit. Metal screamed through the corridors. Commander Jack Hunter held the console with one hand and wiped blood from his face with the other. The main display showed a red storm of alien ships moving closer. The last human cruiser in orbit was breaking apart. He looked around the bridge. Half the crew was gone. The rest worked in silence, their faces gray and cold. The lights flickered. Smoke covered everything. Outside the window, the alien fleet cut through space like knives. Jack's voice stayed steady. "Status," Lieutenant Graves answered from the sensor panel. "Engines gone. Weapons at 5%. Shields down." Jack nodded once. "Transmit the beacon." Graves turned to him. "Sir, that's a death signal. It'll bring them here." "That's the point," Jack said. "We're not running." He moved to the comms terminal and opened the wide channel. The alien voice came through first, sharp and cold, almost human. "Human vessel, surrender. You fought well. You will be processed with honor." Jack leaned close to the mic. "This is Commander Jack Hunter, United Earth Fleet. You want us? Come get us." He cut the line and turned to the crew. "Prep the reactor." A young officer swallowed hard. "You mean to blow it?" Jack didn't look at him. "We can't leave this ship for them. If we go, we take some of them with us." The ship rocked again. Alarms screamed. The oxygen levels dropped. Fire spread along the walls. Jack walked to the forward window. In the distance, the planet below burned, its surface cracked and glowing. Humanity's last foothold in this sector was gone. He closed his eyes for 1 second, then opened them again. "Get to your pods. That's an order." Graves frowned. "And you?" "I'll finish the job." Graves hesitated, then gave a small nod. "It's been an honor, sir." When the others left, Jack was alone on the dying bridge. He entered the code to open the reactor failsafe. The system beeped and showed the countdown. The hum of the core filled the air, deep and rising. Then the radio crackled. At first it was static. Then came a voice, soft and human. A woman. "If you're still alive up there, don't detonate. I need you." Jack froze. The signal came from the surface. No human signals were supposed to exist down there. He switched the channel. "Who is this?" "This is Lieutenant Kara Vance," the voice said. "Ground Division, Fort Orion. I have data that can stop the invasion, but they're coming. I can't get out." Jack stared at the screen. Kara Vance had been listed dead 3 months ago. He checked the coordinates. The signal came from deep inside the alien zone. He spoke again. "You're supposed to be dead." "Not yet," she said. "If you're human, come find me before they do." The line cut. Silence filled the bridge. Jack looked at the reactor control. The timer blinked, waiting for his confirmation. His hands hovered over the keys, but he didn't move. He looked again at the burning planet. Somewhere down there, someone was still fighting. Someone had something that could turn the war. He felt his pulse slow. His choice changed. Jack shut down the reactor timer. The hum faded. He opened the escape pod hatch and grabbed his rifle from the rack. The metal was hot to the touch. He checked the last round in his sidearm. He breathed once and said quietly, "All right, Lieutenant, let's see if you're real." Behind him, the cruiser's hull cracked under alien fire. The bridge broke apart. Flames chased him into the pod. The pod launched. The shock threw him back in the seat. Through the small window he saw the human cruiser explode into a white light. The alien ships turned toward him. As his pod fell through the smoke and fire, the planet's red surface came closer. The signal from the woman's voice pulsed again in his headset. Faint but clear. Then, for a second, he thought he heard her whisper, not through the radio, but inside his own head. "Don't be late." The pod hit the ground hard. The shock threw Jack forward. Dust filled the air. The metal shell cracked open, letting in red light and heat. The sky burned with alien ships moving like black shapes through fire. Jack unbuckled and climbed out, coughing. The ground shook under each blast in the distance. His suit readouts blinked weakly. Oxygen low, temperature too high, radiation near limit. He ignored it. The signal from Caravance still pulsed in his helmet. It came from the north, across a valley of wrecked machines and torn ground. He started walking. His boots sank in ash. The remains of battle lay everywhere. Broken rifles, melted armor, burned bones. Human and alien both. The air smelled of oil and death. The only sound was the wind and the faint hum of alien drones high above. Jack moved low and slow, scanning with his rifle. His visor picked up movement. A small alien scout floated near a crater, scanning the wrecks. He crouched behind a ruined transport. The drone turned. He waited until it faced away, then fired once. The round tore through it. The machine fell, smoking. He kept moving. The signal grew stronger. Soon he reached what looked like an old base, half buried under dirt and metal. A burned flag with the Earth symbol still hung near the gate. He entered, weapon ready. Inside he found bodies of human soldiers lined against the wall. Their helmets were gone, faces pale and still. Some had strange marks cut into their necks, thin lines like wire scars. Jack stopped. He had seen those marks before on ships taken by the enemy. They didn't just kill, they studied. A voice came from deeper inside. "You made it." Jack turned fast. A woman stood in the dark hallway holding a pulse pistol. Her uniform was torn and dirty. Her face was covered in dust, but her eyes were sharp and alive. "Lieutenant Caravance," she said. "I didn't think anyone heard me." Jack lowered his rifle a little. "You were dead." "Not yet," she said, "but I will be if we stay here." He stepped closer. "You said you had data." She nodded and showed a small black drive in her hand. "It's from their control core. It has patterns of their command network. It can break their soft kill system." Jack frowned. "Soft kill?" "They don't need to shoot us," she said. "They invade our nervous systems, turn soldiers into drones. I saw it happen. My whole unit." Her voice cracked for a second, then hardened. "If we upload this data to a human ship, we can block it. Maybe turn it back on them." Jack looked around. The walls shook with distant thunder. "Then why are you still here?" "Because the main link node is under the alien hive," she said. "It's the only way to send the data. I can't reach it alone." Jack thought about it. It was suicide. But if she was right, it could change everything. "All right," he said. "Show me the path." She nodded and walked deeper into the base. They passed rooms filled with alien machines welded into human tech. The air hummed with strange energy. Jack noticed cables running through the bodies of dead soldiers connecting to glowing orbs in the walls. He felt cold inside. Suddenly, Kara stopped. Her eyes went wide. "They found us!" Jack turned. Outside, the sound of engines grew louder. The walls trembled. A shadow passed over the ceiling. Then light flooded the entrance. An alien war form dropped through the roof. It was huge, walking on metal limbs, its head like a glowing skull. Its arms opened, firing blue plasma through the hall. Jack grabbed Kara and pulled her behind cover. The floor exploded beside them. He shouted over the blast. "You said soft kill. What about hard kill?" She looked back, eyes full of fear and fire. "That's what we're about to find out." The blast shook the hallway apart. Jack and Kara hit the floor as fire rolled over the walls. The alien warform stomped forward, its legs cutting deep into the metal. The heat burned through Jack's armor. He pushed Kara behind a half-broken wall and raised his rifle. He fired short bursts, aiming for the creature's joints. Sparks flew, but the armor held. The warform turned its glowing head toward him. Its chest opened, showing a swirling blue core. Jack ran and shouted, "Move!" The floor split open when the core fired. The beam tore through the hallway, turning metal to dust. Jack and Kara fell through the hole and dropped into the level below. The crash knocked the breath out of him. His helmet cracked. He rolled to his side, coughing. Kara pulled him up. "This way," she said, dragging him toward a tunnel filled with black smoke. Behind them, the warform roared as it jumped down after them. Jack saw an old service door and slammed the panel with his fist. The lock sparked, then opened. They slipped inside and sealed it behind them. The sound of the machine outside echoed through the metal walls. They moved through a dark tunnel lit by red emergency lights. Pipes hissed around them. Kara checked her scanner. "The hive core is under us, maybe 2 miles down. There's an elevator shaft ahead." Jack leaned on the wall. His ribs hurt with every breath. "You sure we can reach it?" "If we don't, none of this matters," she said. He followed her deeper. The tunnel opened into a large chamber filled with strange pods. Some were broken. Some still held bodies. Human soldiers suspended in green liquid, their eyes open but blank. Jack stared. "What is this?" Kara's face hardened. "They're using human minds as processors. The soft kill turned soldiers into living computers. This is where they run the war from." Jack felt his stomach twist. "They're alive." "Some of them," she said quietly. "But not for long." He walked up to one pod and pressed his hand against the glass. A man floated inside, motionless. His dog tags hung loose on his chest. Jack read the name and froze. "That's Lieutenant Harker. He served on the Titan. He saved my life once." Kara touched his arm. "We can't save them now. We stop this or it keeps happening everywhere." Before he could answer, the floor shook again. The war form was coming. The pods vibrated as dust fell from the ceiling. Kara pointed to a side corridor. "That way, we can reach the shaft." They ran through the narrow passage, past more pods and strange alien wires running like veins through the walls. The noise behind them grew louder. The warform was close, tearing through the base. Jack reached the elevator and pulled the manual lever. The old lift doors opened with a screech. Kara jumped in and hit the control pad. The lift dropped fast, the wind howling around them. Jack looked up through the metal grate and saw blue light chasing them down the shaft. The warform jumped after them. Jack fired upward, hitting the ceiling supports. "Hold on," he shouted. He aimed at the cables above and fired again. The metal snapped. The elevator fell faster, shaking hard. The warform crashed into the wall, breaking apart, pieces falling with fire and sparks. The lift slammed into the bottom level. Jack and Kara hit the floor hard. He rolled over, dizzy. The doors opened to a strange glow. The air was heavy and wet. The tunnel beyond pulsed with blue light and alien sound. Kara stood up, clutching the data drive. Her voice was calm but cold. "This is it, the hive core." Jack looked ahead. The walls moved like they were alive. Voices whispered through the static of his helmet. One of them sounded almost human. He turned to Kara. "You hear that?" She didn't answer. Her eyes were wide, reflecting the blue light. A faint shimmer ran under her skin. Jack stepped closer. "Kara?" She blinked slowly and whispered, "It's calling me." Jack stared at Kara. The light from the hive core painted her face blue. The shimmer under her skin pulsed in rhythm with the glow around them. Her breathing slowed, like she was listening to something only she could hear. He grabbed her shoulder. "Stay with me, Lieutenant." She blinked and looked at him confused. "I can hear them. They're not machines, Jack. They think. They talk to each other. They're trying to talk to me." Jack pulled her hand down from the console. "Don't listen. You plug that drive in, send the data, then we get out." Kara took a step back. "It's not that simple. Their system reads minds. It learns. That's why our weapons fail. That's how they saw us coming every time. I need to sync with it to open the main port." Jack shook his head. "You do that, they'll own you." She looked right at him. "I'm already half theirs. They tested the soft kill on me. I escaped before it finished." She lifted her sleeve. Faint lines of light moved under her skin. "I can use it against them." The floor trembled. A low hum came from the tunnel behind them. Jack raised his rifle. "We don't have time." Kara walked toward the core chamber. It was a vast room filled with living metal, shaped like veins pulsing around a giant sphere of blue light. Energy crackled in the air. She connected her data drive to a panel and typed fast. Her voice shook. "When this starts, cover me. I'll be open to them." Jack took position behind a broken column. The air buzzed with static. He could hear whispers through his helmet, not words, just pressure in his head. He ignored it and watched her. The sphere in the center opened like an eye. Light poured out, wrapping around Kara. She screamed but didn't stop typing. Her body shook. The alien network tried to resist. Sparks danced over the walls. Jack fired at the ceiling to keep the drones back as they crawled from vents, moving like insects. "Almost done," Kara shouted, her voice mixed with a second one that wasn't hers. "I'm inside their code." Jack fired again. One drone exploded near her, burning cables. He ran forward and shielded her with his body. The heat burned his armor, but he stayed. "Finish it." Kara's eyes glowed. Her fingers moved faster than human. The alien voice spoke through her, deep and calm. "You cannot win. You are not made to last." Jack yelled, "Then die with us." He fired into the core. The shot hit the lower conduit, sending blue fire through the chamber. Kara screamed and pressed the final key. The light spread across the floor like water. The drones froze. Then they fell, lifeless. Silence filled the room. Kara dropped to her knees, breathing hard. Jack knelt beside her and pulled off her cracked helmet. Her skin was hot. Her eyes flickered between human and alien color. "It worked," she whispered. "I have their control codes. We can stop them." Jack smiled weakly. "Good. Let's send it to command." She didn't answer. Her head tilted, like listening again. "They're still there. They're inside me now. I can feel their fleet moving. They're looking for me." He grabbed her by both shoulders. "Fight it. We finish this, then you rest." She looked past him, her face pale. "If I stay connected, I can shut them down. Every ship, every drone. But when I do, it'll kill me." Jack's grip tightened. "We'll find another way." She smiled faintly. "You always say that." She reached for the power relay and linked her arm directly to the main node. The cables latched onto her skin. Blue light surged through her veins. Jack shouted and tried to pull her free. "Kara, stop!" She looked at him, her voice calm. "It's okay. You asked before what kind of kill this is." The chamber shook. The light swallowed them both. Her final words echoed through the noise. "Soft kill or hard kill, Jack. Make it count." The light covered everything. Jack fell back, blinded by the flash. The air cracked with energy. He heard Kara's scream fade into the roar of the core. Then there was silence. The chamber shook once more and went still. He opened his eyes. The core was dark. The blue light was gone. The cables that had wrapped around Kara hung loose, burned black. She lay on the floor, not moving. Smoke rose from the metal around her. Jack crawled to her side. "Kara." He touched her shoulder. Her skin was cold. Her eyes were closed. The faint shimmer under her skin was fading. For a second, he thought she was gone. Then the floor started to hum again. The sound came from below, spreading through the walls. His radio came alive with static. A deep alien voice filled the room, mixed with Kara's own. "They are blind now. Their link is broken." Jack looked around, confused. "Kara, can you hear me?" Her body didn't move, but her voice came through the comms. "Yes, I shut them down, but I can't come back." Jack clenched his fists. "We can pull you out. There's still time." "No, I'm not just connected. I'm inside their network. It's the only way to keep them down." The walls began to shake again, not from the hive, but from above. A low rumble grew into thunder. Jack checked his scanner. Alien ships were crashing from orbit. Their systems were dead, falling like burning stars. He ran to the console. "You did it. You stopped the fleet." Kara's voice was weaker now. "Tell command. Use the relay. Let them know we can win." He typed into the relay control, opening a connection to the human fleet. The line came alive with voices. Static, then a clear signal. "This is Earth Command. Identify." Jack pressed the mic. "Commander Jack Hunter, mission complete. Enemy control core destroyed. We have their system codes." Cheers broke through the channel. Someone shouted, "We see it from orbit. The alien ships are falling. Hunter, you did it." Jack looked down at Kara. He spoke quietly. "Not me, her." Her voice came through one last time, almost like a whisper. "They'll come again, Jack. Not today, but they will. Use what we took. Don't let it end like before." The light in her eyes flickered once, then faded. Her body went still again. The radio went silent. Jack sat beside her, breathing slow. The ground above rumbled again, louder this time. The hive was collapsing. He lifted her in his arms and started moving toward the tunnel. The floor split behind him. Fire poured through the cracks. He kept running. The elevator shaft was gone, torn apart by the blast. He climbed through a side corridor, each step heavy with dust and heat. The whole structure was breaking apart. He reached the surface just as the ground split open behind him. The sky was red and full of falling ships. Human bombers flew overhead, hunting what was left. Jack carried Kara's body through the ash, heading for the beacon he had dropped earlier. The wind tore at his armor. The air burned his lungs. He reached a small hill and placed her down gently. Her face looked calm, almost peaceful now. He took off his cracked helmet and looked up at the sky. "You won, Lieutenant." A signal light blinked on his wrist display. Human dropships were inbound. He watched them cut through the smoke, landing near the ruins. A soldier ran toward him. "Sir, we got your signal. You're the only one left?" Jack nodded. "Yeah, but we didn't lose." As the medics approached, his radio crackled once more. A faint voice came through, quiet and distant. "Jack." He froze. The others didn't seem to hear it. He lifted his wrist and spoke softly. "Kara?" The voice answered, faint but clear. "I'm still here, somewhere in the dark." The transmission ended. The wind carried the sound away. Jack looked out at the burning sky and whispered, "Then we're not done yet."